Hello, hello. Please come in. There is still some room here if you want. Hello, hello. I'm happy to see so many people here today. It's pretty nice to see so many people coming to talk about Spreadsheet and Dashboard. My name is François, and I'm the product owner of those two applications. Before we start, you can see that there is a QR code on the slide. You can flash it. It will direct you to the part where you can fill in some questions, and hopefully we will have some time to answer them at the end. If we don't have the time to answer them, feel free to come by the booth. The whole team is there, and we'll be happy to discuss any topic you'd like to address with us. All right. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on context because I have many stuff to show you. Sadly, Fabien spoiled some stuff, but I hope you forgot already what is said. So reporting isn't just about numbers, it's about turning raw data into insights you can actually act on. So that's why with Odoo Spreadsheet and Dashboard, we try to help you make reports that will in the end help you make better decisions faster. So when it comes to select a tool for reporting, people tend to face the same issues. Data are scattered across several apps or several software, and it's tough to gather them in one place. Reports are statics. It's hard to update. Sometimes we even need the help of the IT department to do so. And it's hard to collaborate on those reports and numbers. So that's why we came up with a spreadsheet and Odoo your data and go deeper. Or you can get a bigger picture by using dashboard. And it's actually also usable for beginners. So you can find all the basic features that you can find in spreadsheet, in other spreadsheet tools. But also if you're a bit more expert, BI expert, you can go deeper into what a spreadsheet and dashboard offers to come to more complex KPIs. All right, enough chit chat. As I said, it's a bit sad that Fabien showed you so many things, but hopefully I'll show you some stuff that you haven't seen yet. I propose that we start directly in my database. So my database is about comic book shops, and what I did in for this shop is that I created a dashboard, and I will use this dashboard to show you everything that not everything, some stuff that we came up with, the main things we came up for this version 19. All right. So here is my basic dashboard. So it's a basic sales analysis dashboard. Let's focus maybe on what's on the top in the header. For those who are used to spreadsheet and dashboard, you might recall how the global filters looked before. So we tried to make it a bit more Odoo-like in terms of look and feel. It's not only cosmetic. So what we did is that if you look in the search bar, you now have access to all your global filters. If you have set a default value, it will be available directly into the search bar, like my limited edition filters, for instance. What we added in terms of global filters, that now we have 3 new types. First of all, we have the selection field type. So you can now select selection field to use as a global filter. So for instance, in my case, I have single issues, trade paperback, and omnibus. I can select single issues. My limited edition is actually a Boolean filter, so a yes/no filter. You can decide to enable it or not, or neither. And we also added the numeric fields. So you could say, for instance, I want to see all my sales that are lower than $100, I think, on my database. Then you can simply hit filter, and your filter is applied like this. You can also simply click on it to get them back and edit them. And you can also use the quick search. So as anywhere in Odoo, as any app in Odoo, you can start typing, yep, and you get access to all your filters from there. So using the arrows, for instance, you can go there and select your country, in my case, Belgium. Obviously, well, you know that, but if you go there, you'll get all the countries that contains Bel at some point in them. So you can simply do this, and voila. So fairly easy to use, hopefully easier than before. But the main improvement, in my opinion, is what we did with the date filter, which is right over there. You can also find it here, but we put it there because it's the filter you're going to use the most, usually, in a dashboard. So I don't know if you recall, but previously you had to select which type of date filter you wanted to use, either from to filter or a specific period of time filter or a related date filter. We merge all that into one single type of date filter. So now you have access to all that. You have the from to, which is available here, and the all time is a bit similar. You have the related date, last 12 months, last month, last 90 days, etc. And you have the specific period of time available here. So let's say you want to select a specific period of time, you're going to select months. You can either use the arrow here to go from a period to another, like this, but you can also use this one, which is nice about those ones, is that it will adapt to what we want to show. So let's put, for instance, last 90 days. If you start going in the past, you will move from 90 days to 90 days in the past. So super, super easy to use. That's about it about global filters, I think. Yeah. If we move to the bottom, to the first chart, I don't know if you noticed, but while I was using my date filter, the granularity here adapt. So in this case, I'm in year to date, so January till today. It makes sense to have a monthly granularity. But if I go back to my last 90 days, you can see that we switch to days. Previously, because it was inserted in months, it would remain in months. It didn't make sense at all. You would have 2 months to 3 months to see, it doesn't make sense. But let's imagine you still want to change the granularity. You don't have to follow what we decided for you. You can overrule this. For instance, you can go for weeks, fairly easy. You can navigate like this. If you go to the ellipses here, you can see that you can now copy and download the chart. Easy to use. And we added the full screen that Fabien showed quickly earlier. If you go full screen, obviously it's more easy to check your chart, but we also added what we call a slider. This slider allows you to focus on a specific period of time, so you can directly go deeper into your chart and you can navigate to see how it behaves like this. In this case, it's not really relevant, but you can still overrule that, let's say by days, and you can manage, oh, I have a bigger sales at that point. That's interesting. Let's see what it says, etc. You can navigate easily like this. So always in the idea so that people that will consult the dashboard can take decision faster and see exactly what they want to see. If I keep going down, so I created 4 categories. Fabien showed it, but we added something that we call a carousel. So a carousel is basically some charts and data that are stacked over each other so that in the same place you can have different views of what you want to see. All right? So in this case, I have my top 10 books. I can either check that by revenue, by quantity, or by top 10, like this. You might have noticed also that there are some new charts. Fabien mentioned the tree map. We also have the countries, we have the sunburst. If you want, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on chart because actually right after me there is Marco, which is right there. We'll explain a lot about chart, so stay put for that. But I also wanted to show you something new, is that when you have my top 10 books here, you can know, as soon as it is a list or a dynamic pivot, you can now sort it directly in the dashboard, any spreadsheet as well. So it's interesting to see the lower 10 books as well. So we can easily change it like that. You can switch to the quantity if you want. Easy as it is. But as you can see, it's not really readable like this. Why? Because all my data come from sales.report. And in sales.report, the name of the product is actually an aggregate of the reference and the name. It doesn't look really nice on a dashboard. It makes sense in sales, but it doesn't make sense in a dashboard, in my opinion. So let's maybe dive in. And if I go to my chart, I can switch to the data layer. I can do see pivot properties. I'm going to remove the product, and then I'm going to go to product, and rather than selecting product, I'm going to go directly in the product.product model, and I'm going to select the name. Boom. So you have your top 10 by name of books name. Yeah. Looks simple, but prior to the 19th version, you would have had to insert the list of all your products, do a VLOOKUP to fetch the name without the reference. So it was really cumbersome. And actually, I did that for this, the top categories as well. So top categories, normally you get the parent name / the category name, the child. I did exactly that here. And I did the same for the top editors. Actually, my editors is a custom field I added on the product model, which is not available in sales.report. So what I did is that I just did exactly the same as you can see here for the name. I went into product and I select my editor. So maybe I can show you a bit better. So let's start from here. So I don't have to go to Odoo anymore to get my data source. I can go here, get the sales analysis. It's going to create a new empty shell when I can select my product, go to the right, editor. I have my editors, and I'm going to check the total. Let's say that in my case, I want to see how my top 3 editors, being DC, Marvel, and Image Comics, for those who know, compared to the independent. Like this, I don't see it really properly. So what I can do, I'm going to select all the independent, like this, do right click, and group pivot dimensions. It's going to create a group. Let's call it independent, like that. And I can easily, like this, check how they behave during my the life of my shop. Let's do an easy boom like this. So doesn't look like much like this, but it was super cumbersome to do before that. All right. Actually, that's what I wanted to show you in this demonstration. So if I switch back to my database, I'm going to recap quickly with you. So first of all, we improved the global filters with a new style, new types, the quick search, and the date management. Massive revamp of the global filters. Then we added some charts. We created the carousel. We implemented the slider and the full screen. So as I mentioned, Marco will explain a bit more about charts right after me. Then in terms of pivot, we improved the dynamic pivot a lot again. So by allowing the grouping, the sorting, I showed you that in the dashboard. And you can now dive cross-model. I'm fairly certain for those who are in charge of creating dashboard, it will allow you to save a lot of time. I didn't show you that, but it's available. It's been requested for quite a lot of time. Now we have a real mobile version for dashboard and spreadsheet. So what we did is that we now have a real responsive version where actually the top menu is now reachable by thumb, and the same for the formula bar. So you can now way more easily use mobile and tablet to manage your spreadsheet, or slightly edit, I would say, because obviously you don't have access to everything on mobile version. But there is way more. I couldn't show you everything because time is limited, but we added some function. If I have to focus on one, I don't know if you use survey, but now we added Odoo.survey, which is a formula that allows you to get all the results of a specific survey. So it's not available like that in survey. It was quite cumbersome to get all the participants to a survey versus the questions and the answers in the bottom. So you can now sort on them, you can create charts on them, etc. We added the comment palette in Spreadsheet as well. So using Ctrl-K, you can now access directly some menus by typing them with your keyboard. You can stack 2 side panels at the same time in Spreadsheet. So let's say you want to compare 2 data sources and check the domain, for instance. It was fairly annoying because you had to right-click on a data source, open a side panel, check what you wanted to see, go to the other one, open the side panel, check what you wanted to see, and try to remember what was on the first side panel. Now you can pin the first one and open the second one and simply compare like this. We also added an irregularity map. So it's a tool that checks for inconsistencies in patterns. So let's say you have, you put some, I don't know, you put some taxes on the list and you do it by hand. You shouldn't be doing that like that, but anyway, the regularity map will say, oh, that's weird because the way you manage the functions there doesn't match the pattern that you have above and below. It's super, super useful to debug a spreadsheet when you have some errors or inconsistencies. And you can now open CSV in Spreadsheet, which was not the case previously. All right. Hey, I forgot to mention that if you want to know more about Pivot, Richard will talk about it tomorrow at 3:30 or 4, something like that. So he will go deep into this new way of diving cross-model and everything you can do with dynamic pivot. But if you want to know even more, if you want to learn how you can break a spreadsheet, that's super interesting. I advise you to go watch Vincent today at 4:30. He will actually show you how to manage your spreadsheet and get performance spreadsheet, because there are some nice tips and tricks that will make your spreadsheet way lighter, and it will avoid lagging because it's still dependent on the browser, so it can still be quite heavy and long to charge, etc. Start to be long to load, etc. And if you want to see a real use case, you can go and watch Hugo tomorrow at 4. He will show you how you can manage your project budget using Spreadsheet. And that's it for me. So yeah, feel free to flash the QR code if you want.
Thank you. Hello. Yep. Oh. Thank you, François. Thank you for the talk. We have actually a lot of questions, so let me discover some of them. Can you create a project plan based on milestone in spreadsheets?
That's a great question. I would advise to come and see us at the booth. We have actually some business analysts that are in charge of creating that kind of reporting, so feel free to come by, because I couldn't say it like that. I'm fairly certain we can.
From a dashboard, is it possible to create a PDF document which sends out via email each day, such as daily report or sales quote report, monthly sales compared to last year?
Yeah. What you can do is that you can share like a frozen version of the dashboard, and you can download it, and you will be able to download an XLS file. And then you will have to open it in a spreadsheet reader so that you can download it as a PDF. But we are looking at some other ways to be able to download the dashboard.
We've seen that AI helps a lot to create nice reports. Does the user rights prevent the AI to not be used or showed all the data?
Yeah. So the way it works is that the AI has full rights, but you, depending on your right, won't see exactly the same. So what you can see will always depend on the rights you have. So in that matters. If you don't have access to something, you won't be able to see it in spreadsheet or dashboard.
Okay.
Unless you create it, I mean, as a raw data, obviously, but that's on you.
Are you able to use DAX formulas to compute more complex measures?
I have no clue what it is.
Yeah, me neither. Sorry. Are you planning on adding ribbon chart as a graph option?
Say again?
No.
No, but I can take the feedback and look at what it is. We have also calendar charts, or it's called core charts, that will come. Sadly, it wasn't ready for the 19, but we'll keep on adding some types of charts, because I know that depending on the industry, etc., you might require some specific charts to help.
Okay. When grouping data, as you showed at the end, is the grouping based on the sales references or the data itself? Meaning, what happens to the grouping if a new sales appear in the future?
It depends if everything is group or not, because we have n others in the group, so you can create groups. If you don't toggle the n others being like a tailing, so you get everything, the rest actually in a group. If you do create the group manually, it will be added at the same level as the group, so it will not be included in a group unless it's at a sub-level of the group. I don't know if it was clear.
Will year-to-date time filter use financial year-to-date, and how is that configured?
We follow what the accounting app is providing us actually. So I guess it's supposed to follow the maybe not. No, maybe we have to add the fiscal year as a specific filter. Yeah.
Can you compare dates on dashboard? Example, this week to previous week?
No, but it will be available in V20 for sure.
Okay, spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. No, but indeed, the first thing, the idea was to revamp the global filters first, and it was a massive work to do. And yeah, the idea will be able to toggle like a compare option that will allow you to select the same kind of global filter, and you'll be able to compare two periods. But for it to make sense, it needs to better showcase in the charts, etc. The list, we have to double the data you see, etc., so that it makes sense, because comparing for comparing, if you don't see it properly, doesn't make sense.
Can you link spreadsheet data to another one?
You mean, I guess, spreadsheet from spreadsheet? No, not yet. The issue is that the data source need to be stored in the spreadsheet you are using, so we would have to find a way to get the data source into the spreadsheet. It doesn't work yet, and it's not super easy to do, I think.
Is it possible to add an AI prompt inside a spreadsheet cells?
Not at the moment, but yeah, AI will be for V20 as well, because now that it's everywhere in Odoo, we have to do it. So yeah, we'll see what we will do with that. First of all, we want to do what Fabien showed, which is request some charts, some pivots, some lists, etc., and then we'll see how far we can go within spreadsheet.
Is it possible to build a pivot with two dimensions that are represented in two different fields once imported into a spreadsheet?
I'm looking at Lucas. Can you go again?
Okay.
He's the pivot guy.
Is it possible to build a pivot with two dimensions that are represented in two different fields once imported into a spreadsheet?
Tag it's on you. Yeah, we can have a look, because it's hard to mind project this thing.
Is there some time intelligent functionalities like Power BI, same period last year?
No, not yet. But yeah, we're going to work a lot on dashboard and improve a lot, and to try to catch up a bit with the competitors on that aspect. But we still want to keep the Odoo identity, the way it works with a spreadsheet behind it, etc. So it's a tough balance to find.
Is it possible to insert? Is it possible to share a dynamic dashboard on a portal?
No, not at the moment. You really need to have access to the database to do it. Portal, I don't think so. It's really tricky. Once again, it depends. The issue is the rights of what you have. The rights you have to see the data. If you don't have any rights, you can't see anything. So you could see raw data, but if it's raw data, a frozen version is fine. So yeah, no. That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. Will spreadsheet pivot tables support tabular view, but having the country and state in separate instead of?
I guess you mean flat view. Yeah, that's something we're working on as well. So just for everyone to understand, Currently, you group by sub-level, so it's in the same column. The idea is to flatten that so that each level is at the same. So it's a bit like a complex list plus. And I'm out of time, I think. Thanks a lot. Feel free to come at the booth, and we'll answer all your questions.
Thank you very much.